What is up, everybody? Today is a day that I'm putting in the Gree mini split. It's taken me a little while. Weather's been crazy. It was hot yesterday and it's raining today, of course, the day that I pick. But install a Gree with me. All right, here's our Gree inverter. We got our Diversitech mini split pad. So they make one just for this. We'll go ahead and anchor this down after. This is basically going to be like a rough install. I just want to get everything hooked up, get the electrical and like everything hooked up completely so we can run it. We'll vacuum, run it, and then come back and do all the little things, all the line height and everything. On a mini split, you got 3/8, or on this one, 3/8 1/4. I've never done a mini split, but that's pretty pliable, so it's forgiving when you bend it. Just make sure you don't kink it. All right, so we got enough slack for the minimum. We're gonna have to cut it, redo the flares, and attach it here. Not super necessary here if I just take off the jacket there, but if you guys need to remove the flares, that's what these indentions are for. You can cut it super close. So get that flare right in between the roller there. Some of them have just one-sided that has the indentation. This is the Hvacr one. If you ever got to redo one, they actually came with pretty nice flares there, but I just need these. Do not forget this very important part. Just inspect, but that usually makes perfect flares. All right, I had to scoot it over to the edge so I can get what I wanted to fit on here. We have our filled piece core removal tool with a 5/16 adapter. You only get one port on mini splits. It is what it is. I'm gonna use my S-Man because I lost my micron gauge. So we're just gonna pressure test and vacuum through the S-Man for today. It's a short line set, small system, and I'll work on the wiring while we do that. All right, moment of truth. That thing is quiet. You won't hear that at all. So yeah, it's still running. It's gonna be super quiet. Like I said, I'll fix the line with line height over there. But it's like in a weird, cool weather right now, so I can't run the AC too much. It drops down to like 61, but it's like 60 something out here. So right now it ramped down. That's the benefit of an inverter. And the only thing I can test maybe is the heat mode. So yeah, they got windows. They already sealed up this little man cave. So mini split is gonna do really well in here for comfort. So we had it in cooling, but it is 60 something in here. So we're gonna switch it over to heat mode and try that out real quick. All right, so mini split, this one essentially is a heat pump. So we're gonna run it in reverse to where instead of the condenser getting hot, this is getting hot. So we have it set, it's already started up. If we put our thermometer here, you can see, like I said, it's 60 something outside. We're getting some nice warm air in here, and that's going to work out very well for the space. I got it set to 80 over there. So now with the heater running, you're going to have cold air coming out of your condenser, and again, quiet. It runs really well. We'll see how it holds up, but really easy to install. All right, so for you guys on YouTube, this is the full video. I did something a little different. I might get some crap in the comments. It's perfectly fine. This is not a professional job site installation for any customer. This is going into a really small man cave here in the backyard. So like I said, I'll tidy that up. Now here you normally have another set of wires going in here, and there's a terminal block in here and something fancy. We do have the 115 version. I got that on purpose. So basically, if you had a disconnect, you would hook it up here, and you're going to get power to the terminals here. 3 terminals. Those 3 terminals are double-sided, and then you run communication wire to the inside, right? Typically, that's how you would do it. All that is just bypassing the single phase power to the indoor unit, because you need 115 on both. All you're doing is giving power to the condenser and giving power to the indoor unit. And here's our indoor unit working perfectly fine right now. It's heating. I don't know what the remote is. So everything's been working good. I just wanted to test everything, and now we'll just shut it off basically. So if you go into here, you're gonna have another terminal block here. It's just 3. Like I said, 3 or 4 connections. Well, 4. Your communication wires are for your power, which it had this convenient little notch here, so I could run just a standard power cord, heavy duty one. Ran it over here, and I'm giving power to the indoor unit. So wherever the communication wire was going out, instead of giving power coming in, I hooked up everything together here to my power supply, which we got to clean that up, and this power strip was not here the last time that I was going to do this, so we might try to get one single plug and then, figure it out from there. But for now, it works fine. It's not going to run that much, but I'm giving 115 to the terminal block. That powers this. Our communication wire is powered into the same plug on those 3 terminals, going outside and giving power to the outside instead. So a little different. That's just the way I wanted to do it. And this is, like I said, a personal install, so it's not for a customer. I'm not going to have to worry about any complaints, maybe in the comments, but that's about it. So mini split 115 specifically. This is the lower end BTUs. I'll check right now, but just a simple, like their basic one, 115 running power from inside, and it works fine. I've already tried cooling. I've tried heating. Works perfectly fine. It's not going to run much. No one's in here 24/7 except to watch a game or whatever. So good enough, right? So yeah, just a disclaimer, that is a personal install. It's not for a customer, anything like that. So not super worried about it, because I'm going to go back. I need to still do the line hide and fix up the wiring. I do want to kind of go in there and do a better job of, the wire connectors, especially the ones inside. Ideally, I would use something else. That's just what I had. I used forks, doubled up all the connections with fork connectors on the inside where I needed to on those 3, which was your hot, neutral, and ground. Not a big deal. I've done it before. We've all done it, where you double up, even though technically on electrical stuff, if they're not rated for it, you need 1 wire to 1 terminal. Or if you have multiple wires, you're going to have multiple connection points, whether it's like a screw and a whole bunch of like spade connectors, spaces and stuff like that. You're going to have enough to put a wire by itself. You don't usually double up, but I've done it before. It's fine. It's not a big deal. It's not going to be used heavily at all. It's going to be rarely used and only for comfort here and there during games and whatnot. It's a man cave. So the thing is, Gree sent this out to me. I specifically asked for a 1 ton. I was like, that'll do. Make it a 115 so I can maybe get away with, without running anything crazy or having to get an electrician out to help me out. So I was like, give me a 115 because I'm going to take power from somewhere. I've seen on YouTube other DIY channels will basically do the same thing I did, but they're going to run it traditionally where the power outside goes to a disconnect and the disconnect goes and just taps into the outlet right there. So I was like, same thing, right? So I'm going to pull up the one they sent me. It looks like it's not even a ton. It's not even from the list that they had originally told me to look at. So I pulled up the model number. It is a 9,000 BTU, which is less than a ton. For cooling, I think for heating, it gives a different number, but here is the Gree mini split that we have. So we do have obviously the indoor outdoor unit. You have the remote that has a whole bunch of features built into it. And then you also have, this one has Wi-Fi specifically. So I downloaded the app. We're able to set, different preferences and different schedules, things like that, where you can also just control it from your phone versus, always having to have the remote on you or anything like that. So the cool thing with this is you can, download an app and control it that way. These are the specifications for the one that I have here. It says it's rated for 9,100 BTUs on the cooling side, and on the heat side, because it is a heat pump, it has up to 10,000 BTUs. And this thing can work in cooling mode from -13 to 122 degrees outside. And then the heating is from -22 to 86. So it'll work, especially where I'm at, in most conditions, and it'll be able to cool a space or give comfort, like I said, to this outdoor area that has been recently sealed up with windows and insulation and stuff like that. Obviously, doing electrical, you're going to look at your amperage, the wiring you use and all that stuff. I used a heavy duty power cord replacement is basically what they're called. You can get these at Lowe's, Home Depot, wherever. We get them commercially at other places that we shop, for parts. Look at this really quick. You have your ratings right here. So you're going to have the indoor unit, the outdoor unit, indoor motor 0.3 full load amps, your compressor running load amps 12.5, and the fan motor outside is 0.5. So if you add those up, you have a little over 13.3 at the most. Nothing really else runs on this unit, not that I can think of. So around 13 amps full load. This is an inverter, so it's never going to be that. I didn't take any readings because I was in a hurry. It started raining, so just do the math. It can handle the load. So that's how I went about when I looked at it, the electrical, what would work. So we're just using a power cord that is rated more than what the unit runs. Pretty simple. I've never done a mini split before. I decided to try it out. Gree sent that unit over, so thank you for supplying that. And I look forward to maybe I got to do maintenance on it, obviously. So I also have a kit from New Calgon. So we'll try that kit out when that's time to do maintenance on it. Cause they can get pretty dirty if they're not maintained, and they're constantly running whenever you do run them. But other than that, it's a cool option. Mini splits, I've heard good things about Gree. We wanted to try it out, and I'll give you guys, updates later on when we do maintenance, when we do like maybe a follow-up on it, things like that. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in. A little unconventional of an install of a mini split. I mean, I'm not a DIY channel or anything like that. I figured 115 would be easy to put in, or easier. And when I was looking at the schematic, essentially you are giving power to the outdoor unit, and then it goes through the terminal back inside. And I was like, why can't we supply the inside and then bring it back outside? From what I could tell, you could power it because the 115 volts was just going from one to the other, and connected directly. And I was like, the only wire that I don't have to do anything with was, one that just connected the two. The 115, which is the hot, the neutral, and the ground. Those were connected to each other. That was it. Simple as that. If you guys enjoyed the video, remember to like, comment, subscribe. Hopefully you enjoyed it, got something out of it. That's just the way my brain thinks. I like to look at the schematic, which is one of my weaker points was always electrical. And then I had to really break it down and look at schematics and be like, okay, what wire goes where? What does each wire do? And I've done plenty of rewiring out in the field to where I'm comfortable doing, wiring, like, well, rewiring, right? Like wiring something a different way that'll still get the same outcome, which is what we did here today. If you guys are interested, I will have the latest YouTube video up here. I will also have some more business content on this area. It's going to be the playlist that I have going on right now. I just started adding to that. If you guys are interested in that kind of content, let me know or ask questions on those videos, and I will do more in the future. And if you guys haven't yet, also subscribe to the podcast channel. So I appreciate you all. See you guys.